Okay, on to Act 2. A quick recap. Um, in Act 1, we picked up some decent AoE. Got a really nice single target. We have multiple ways of entering Calm, couple ways of entering Wrath, including Tantrum, which recurs. We picked up a Vault to smooth over any problems we're having getting into the stance we want when we want. The end boss, we chose Deus Ex Machina and Sozu, so energy is not going to be a problem. In fact, we might end up finding that we have too much half the time. Anyways, we're going to be facing off against Bronze Automaton. Let me make sure our values here are how I would like them, just in case. I see this would get us 2 elites. We could come here or here to get 3. So let me just double check the deck real quick, see if there's any absolute must-have upgrades. And doesn't appear to be the case, so I think we can favor elites over campfires, but that doesn't mean we necessarily have to go with one and not the other. So it looks like we would want to come through here or here. This gets us a late or a mid shop, which is nice because there's no late shops, and that would mean that we wouldn't need an early shop. However, all the paths that lead here get to us to a early shop. So what if we came here if we're going to take an early shop, campfire? No, I don't care for that so much. Alright, so now that I have an idea what the map looks like, I will look at the values, and it is recommending this, which is kind of what I was looking at anyways. Questionable having to hit 2 shops, but this will help reduce the amount of hallway fights. Alternatively, we could do this, that way we just have the 2 easy hallway fights, come through here, and now we're facing harder ones. We do get a campfire that way, but then we would have no store this act. So I think just doing 1 extra hallway fight before the elite, that's probably okay. Alright, so the enemies get... Oh, there's Deus Ex Machina. Alright, so this is absolutely berserk. We got all this energy and nothing. Absolutely nothing to spend it on. The best we could do is Eruption and then Consecrate. He'll be attacking us next turn, so even Fear No Evil will get us into Calm if we need to. But that is it. That is it. The other ways we get into Calm... Wait a minute, I thought we had 3 total. Tranquility, that's what I'm overlooking. Where's Tranquility? Okay, yeah. So we do have... It just sucks because 2 of our ways of getting out of Wrath are in hand right now. And we really don't have much of a justification for getting into Wrath right now. So this is awkward in the extreme. We're going to do what we can. He's going to stockpile a whole bunch of armor. Okay, well, we have a way of getting out of Wrath, and when we picked up Wheel Kick, one of the things I was saying that it was awkward that it's so costly itself. Wow, look at this. Good turn. So the 2 we have here pays for Vault, which means every single miracle can just pay for a strike. There's really no reason not to. In fact, we might find we have lethal. We do. We just have lethal. Never mind. Okay. So that was fine. And that's one of the reasons why I like having a few ways to get out of Wrath, because then when we have awkward turn 1s like that, we have reason to stay into Wrath. Now, I don't think Crescendo is worthwhile pickup. We already have 2 ways into Wrath, and Tantrum is recurring, so if we end up dropping Wrath or getting into Calm, you know, we can get right back into Wrath again. So I don't think Crescendo is a worthwhile pickup here. It is nice that it's plus already. Pressure points is quite memey. Obviously, if you have a lot of deck recurrence, it is a way of guaranteeing an overwhelm. It is nice that it doesn't obey weakness, but it also won't scale with strength, so that's, you know, mixed bag. This is an eventual guaranteed win, but at the cost of a deck slot. Not so sure. put a miracle into your hand at the start of your next X turns. We did just have a turn where something like this would have been helpful. Oh, and it does specify Miracle X, so it's actually, you get double the return on your investment over time. And that's not what we're looking to do necessarily. So I don't think we're going to pick any of these. Crescendo's the only one I would consider, and that would mostly just be because it has Retain, which means it would get out of our deck flow. But I don't think that's necessary. 85 gold to obtain a relic. On a map where we have 2 shops, it's unfortunate that we have this, but 85 gold is very good. Can no longer become frail. That's pretty good. Let's see, persistent. So I will do this. In the first act, I kind of glanced over the fact that we had Tori. We can basically, if we have to make decisions about whether to cast 2 blocks or just 1, we can use this to see if there's like a break point where we end up just taking 1 damage, and that way we're allowed to play another attack or something like that. Okay, Wave of the Hand. I'm going to look at that real quick. Whenever you gain a block, apply weak. If I'm not mistaken, we passed that up at one point. We have 3 of our original block cards, and then we picked up, I think, 2 more, yeah, Empty Body and Third Eye. Still haven't played the Third Eye, if I remember correctly. Let's see, can't afford any of these relics, but we can look at them to know that they're going to be gone for good. Hate to see Abacus and Ornamental Fan go, but there's nothing we can do about that right now. I don't know that any of these cards are particularly compelling. Yeah, I like this card better with like Mental Fortress, something where you're, you know, generating armor fairly consistently rather than just playing cards. So I don't know that I like any of the stuff here. Card removal service for a strike would be okay. However, since we have another shop coming up, I think I'd rather save what money we have, because worst case scenario, that shop is not good and we can just remove a card there instead. Okay, so lots to think about here. He's going to be coming at us for 12, and I don't think we can burst for 86 here. Vigilance is all that we would need to do as far as blocking everything that's incoming. So what we can do is Erupt, Strike, Consecrate, and then just put ourselves in Vigilance for full block, getting out of Wrath, stockpile the Calm. Relatively easy turn, and it's nice that we had the energy to do all that, so it doesn't feel like a waste of a turn. Cool, Tantrum gets us right back in. The Calm gives us 2 energy, which means Wheel Kick now. And it's just over now, right? Yep. Fear No Evil could have... oh yeah, I gotta stop clicking on the... Empty Mind. Very good, very good. So in Act 1, I like my empty card to be Fist. Act 2, I like it to be Empty Mind. So this is pretty good, I think. At the end of Act 1, we got a card and a relic that basically gives us a lot more energy, so we need more draw, plain and simple, and getting it from a way that also allows us to drop our stance. Now, once I take this, because do keep in mind this is the second time we're passing on a Crescendo Plus, once I take this, I do think Crescendo Plus becomes more valuable, just because there might be times we want to play that card to draw, but we don't want to ditch the stance. Okay, so in this fight I think we kind of have to kill this one first, but when we do we apply vulnerable to ourselves, which makes him a little harder to deal with. Unfortunately, we don't have much to do about that right now. We have 3 energy that goes into blocking, so let's just do the damage we can, full block, and all these cards have Retain. Oh yeah, so now if we played Empty Mind, we'd get 2 extra energy to complement the 2 cards we'd be drawing, and look at that. Um, this is a sticky situation. 3, 6, 9. We can afford to play the Empty Mind now. That way we are not playing the Wheel Kick before we enter Wrath, and we find no way to enter Wrath. That's a shame, but we can get right back into Calm, so that's somewhat nice. We are in a bad situation here in that we have a full hand, so we can't just play Wheel Kick. 3, 6, 9, 10. We'll end our turn with Conclude, so we can kind of ignore this guy for the rest of the fight once we do this. And I'm just doing this to provide some space in our hand. It is nice that the first attack we put on him fully chews through his plated armor. And there we go. We have Vault and Tantrum. Now, because we have Vault, we're not going to be able to play the Conclude. So he opens back up. And that's good because we want to be able to play Fear No Evil. Oh, actually, you know what? Consecrate. Okay. So this is awkward in that we won't be able to play Fear No Evil at all. He'll be dead from the AoE, and he's attacking us, and that would put us into Calm, which we don't necessarily want to do, but at the same time, we have Eruption in our hand, and Tantrum goes back in the deck. So I think it's fine to end with Fear No Evil. So that's that. And this is it for attacks this turn. Not necessarily. Oh, wait, this will take us out of Wrath. I was looking at the combined, but nope, not the case. Alright, and obviously we need to Miracle for the Vault, so that's what we'll do. Yeah, it's a complex deck to be playing. Alright, so Flurry of Blows, Eruption, Flurry of Blows, Strike, yeah. Way overkill, not bad. Haven't lost a single HP yet, very good. I like Follow Up as a card, because we tend to be attack heavy. It's basically, you know, free 7 damage, or 14 if you're in Wrath. So I like that card, especially early Act 1. I did feel like that particular fight we were lacking attacks, and that's one of the other reasons I kind of wanted to hold off on pulling out a strike. So I think I probably will go Follow Up here, just because, based on how the deck's behaving, I think this would shore things up the most. Just Lucky is an okay pick if you got nothing else. The fact that we have Sozu and Deus Ex Machina, I think we have too much energy to be taking zero-cost cards. So I'm going to choose the follow-up just because, like I said, it felt in that fight, like, in the last couple fights, like, when we are in Wrath, we don't have enough to do. Vault here, so that's nice. We did get the Deus Ex Machina, so we have lots of energy here. I almost just reached for this instinctively, and I hesitated because I just wanted to make sure there's no way to enter Wrath first. Okay, so this will be a Vault turn. What we could do is cast Third Eye to scry. I think that's a good idea because we do have a couple defense here. Oh, wait. I'm not thinking ahead properly. I don't know what we want our next turn to look like. Wait a second. Take an extra turn after this one. So if we gain the armor, I assume that means as soon as we take the extra turn, the armor drops off like normal. So I can't even just play this for the sake of blocking this for eventually when he gets his turn. And since I don't know what we want, like, I don't know if we're just going to be able to kill him outright. Probably not, or how we're going to finagle. So rather than spending a miracle on this, I'll just go ahead and pass our turn. We still have Empty Mind in the deck, so some card draw. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Alright, Flurry of Blows, Tantrum, Flurry of Blows. We enter Tranquility, get the Flurry of Blows, defend for what we can, and then conclude. Alright, so that one was a little bit easier to parse out. Haha! I saw this thing light up, so I guess he was trying to put some frail on us. And look at that, the last card we played was an attack, so we just get this. Now if there was a way to drop Calm, I would, so we could get the Flurry of Blows back, and then we could go right back into Calm. No such luck here. So we'll just do the damage that we can. Well, hang on. 12 block, 17 block. Neither of those is complete, but we still would like to play both of them. That's our next hand. So I don't think I want to spend a miracle here just to fit in a strike. We'll just do this. We're going to want all our energy for next turn. We're going to have Wrath. We're going to have card draw. Hey, Tori lit up, so that's one of those times, yeah. I should have done the math because of Tori. Like, did it make sense to play the defend at all? Since the defend is worth 5 and these operate on multiples of 5, I'm assuming it was the right play, but I did forget to factor that in, so I wanted to mention it. Alright, let's see. 3, yeah, we have plenty of hand space. This will drop Calm, giving us 2 extra energy. And now we want to enter Wrath by way of Tantrum. No, as long as we play the Tantrum before the wheel kick, that's what matters. No, Tantrum. Oh, he's just dead. He's just dead by a lot. Yeah, good. Good. So this is fun. We're doing real well. I just gotta make sure I stay mentally focused here. Okay, start of each combat. Persistent, persistent. So I will do it like so. Spirit Shield. Gain 3 block for each card in your hand. I like the idea of that. I also don't find Study to be particularly bad since it's plus. I used to think not so highly about this card, and then there was a relic that gives you a power for free at the end of one of the books, I think it was. And I played it, and I actually liked it. And right now, card draw is probably at a premium, although we don't seem to be struggling with it at the moment. So I'm thinking about taking Spirit Shield, because between the Deus Ex Machina, like, we've been having large hands, which would also suggest that our current card draw is sufficient. So I like the idea of Spirit Shield. And yes, I will admit that the fact that it's a rare is part of what makes that so tempting for me. Alright, he's not attacking us this turn, so we can just go Book Wild. We don't necessarily have the energy to go nuts, though. If we draw into Deus Ex Machina, obviously so, but then our other card draw would drop us back out of Wrath, so let's just do the damage that we can. Conclude, that's fine. Probably should save the miracle just because we're about to get confused. Alternatively, we just do 40 damage here if we spend it now, and that puts some... And we are in Wrath. Okay, I'll just go ahead and do what we can now. For all we know, we have a really terrible hand, and at this point we really only need like 1 attack, maybe 2. Follow up. Yeah, we could cast the Spirit Shield if we thought that was in the chips, but he's just dead. Thank goodness. We just picked up Spirit Shield, so I wouldn't consider this or this. Bowling Bash seems kind of weak at this point. We are going to face lots of fights with 2 or 3 minions. Bronze Automaton does have helpers at first, so this would deal some more damage. I'm just trying to reflect on the feel of the deck's performance and ask, do we want one more attack? We're about to hit the store, and I don't know that that's going to be a pulled card or not, but our next fight is possibly just an elite. Obviously the events could be that. So I think I'll go ahead and take another attack. After we fight these elites, we can start focusing more on deck size. Although right now everything's flowing fairly well together. There's an Empty Fist. Simmering. I don't like how the sail like covers up the... I don't actually know the Fury. Simmering Fury. I've played with this card before. I like it. I don't even recognize this one, GoldenEye. When you scry 2 additional cards. Okay. That's fun. Orange Pellets. How many powers do we have right now? None. Okay, well, I guess we won't be buying orange pellets. That's a fun way of wiping debuffs. I'm really starting to get into the whole artifact and wiping debuffs thing. There's a relic you can get from an event that gives you boosted strength your first turn, but then also gives you a debuff that you lose the strength at the end of the turn. And of course, if you wipe off that debuff, it's just permanent strength. And there's potions like that. So yeah, I've gotten hip to the whole using something like this offensively, or just, you know, to make other things better. But we don't have any powers yet, so that's not a thing. I suppose fasting is an option, but we've kind of been playing into the whole we have extra energy thing. So I'm not so sure that the extra strength and dexterity is worth it. It is a way to scale, but it's a trade-off, right? Like, you have less energy to spend things on, but the things you spend energy on are more potent. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Is it wrong of me to just kind of dismiss that? I do think having another empty would be problematic. I didn't like the fact that we were taking an exit the stance, but the card draw was too good. And I think that was the right decision. Let's see. So I like this card a lot because it not only puts you into Wrath on a delay, but gives you extra cards to use in that Wrath. I think this is a really good card. I think that's what I want to do here. And then we could remove a card, remove a strength. We did just add 2 more attacks, specifically because it felt like we weren't having enough attacks. So this is somewhat questionable. Alternatively, we could take the pellets in preparation for later. Meal ticket whenever you enter a shop. That would have been handy up front, but we have no more. And as of yet, we're doing pretty good. So let's do this. You know, I suppose it's possible that even pulling a defend there would have been okay because we've picked up Spirit Shield. But it is done. Ink bottle. Okay. So yeah, we have had a bit of card draw. That seems to be okay. Ooh. Last time I fought this group as the Watcher, it was nuts. They were nuked and so rapidly. It helps at turn 1 he's the only one attacking. Hey, and look at that, Bowling Bash. This is a... So Bowling Bash is going to do with Vajra 24 to a single target. In Wrath, it will do 48. So we just kill this guy outright with Bowling Bash, as long as we don't kill him first. And we do have a way to exit. We only have 4 energy. Yeah, okay, this works out fine. I do want to make sure we do kill him eventually, though. So 5, 15, 25, 39. Yep, we got him. So we Flurry of Blows first, Erupt, and then before we kill him off, we Bowling Bash Bear. He's dead. I don't think I've ever killed Bear before killing him. I've never seen those emotes before. Anyways, we can hit him now. 10, 14. That's unfortunate. Well, what we can do, though, is we can 10 here and then strike him, because then when we enter Tranquility, blows comes back. It's only worth 5. Nice. See what I mean? This is exact. And that wasn't really even that special of a turn. That's just what our deck has been built to be able to do. Enter and exit stances at will. We could definitely use a Mental Fortress. Alright, this is... Oh, we're not in Wrath, so there's that. That's... You know what? We don't have to follow up now, because we can wheel kick first. Because if we can do the follow-up while in Wrath, the better. But whatever, it's just lethal. Piece of cake. And now we have weak to all enemies turn 1. That's quite nice. That's start of combat, so we'll do that. Oh yeah, we can't get that. I gotta stop clicking on those. Crushed Joints! We finally get a Crushed Joints! I was raving about this card. Dang! Now I would definitely want to keep the deck thin, and I definitely feel better about removing a strike. Have to get this. This enables triple damage. If enemy has vulnerable while you're in Wrath, they're just taking triple damage from your cards. And we have Deus Ex Machina, so we have that much more guarantee that we'll be able to activate it without wasting our energy doing so. Gain some gold. Or risk a face. I haven't memorized the faces. I've had good ones, bad ones, and one that really did nothing. It was more cosmetic. We're doing a good job of preserving our HP, so I think I'll just take the gold here rather than the risk. I used to just willy-nilly just take the risk, and then I started finding some of the bad faces. So, alright, this could be a bit of a challenge. Vault in the opening hand, always good. We win Cast Spirit Shield because once we vault we lose the HP, or the block, I'm pretty sure. So we'll consecrate, we finish. Yep, it's unfortunate that we have Conclude and Vault in the same hand. We have to be very careful not to play that. Where did the extra energy come from? From the fact that it's follow-up. Okay. I just wasn't sure. So yeah, there's no way to play both of these cards. So rather than just assuming we play Vault, we'll take a look at the field and say, would Conclude be a better card? And the answer is pretty clearly no. So we'll play the Vault instead. Bowling Bash. Would do 24 right now. Simmering Fury I like. Let's do Empty Mind first. Alright, Eruption. Bowling Bash, Tranquility. Simmering Fury. Alright, so this might be a good time to use the Miracle. Do we still have Deus Ex Machina in our deck? We do. Okay. So, and I'm not factoring in Defend, and I probably should. So this is not easy. I don't think we need the Wrath to make the Bowling Bash good. So what we do, Eruption, Bowling Bash, Tranquility, Simmering Fury, Defend. The Bowling Bash will just way overkill him. It almost makes entering Wrath not worth it. But this is another 16 per. So we could almost full kill this guy, but well, okay. I'm mistaken here. I'm gonna proceed because it's not the worst thing in the world. I just think that because he's not webbing us right now and we are playing Watcher, I think it could have been okay to like do the numbers differently to kill somebody else first rather than him, just to make the numbers fit a little bit better. But this is fine. We'll just overkill. Defend for what we can. Oh crap. I'm not going to be able to Simmering Fury. That's unfortunate. Because we had to absolutely have to not be in Wrath. Okay. Tori will drop this down to 1, I think. So we're only taking 2 damage here. Yep. So at least there's that. Tantrum. Very good. Okay, so we Flurry of Blows. Tantrum, Flurry of Blows. This is 12, 17, and then 27. At which point this becomes 32. So let's do Flurry of Blows here. Tantrum here. Flurry of Blows there. Wheel Kick here. Tantrum. There we go. So the crush joints didn't even enter in. Wow. Okay, this is great. Persistent, but once per. We'll do that this way. So now we have block and Tori. Very good. Whenever you scry, gain 3 block. We only have the 1 scry card, and I don't know that we would necessarily lean into that. That said, Cut Through Fate is here. It's a damage card that draws 1 after you scry, so you kind of have control over what you draw. I think this is the pickup. Starting to get a bit of a bloated deck, though. And it has started to feel just slightly awkward as far as getting in and out of stances, so I'm sure the two are related. Okay, we start with drawing cards. We have Vault. Okay. We have lots of miracles here, so I'm okay with just getting most of our attacks out of hand. I don't know if it's worth it going for a strike necessarily. I'll go ahead and go for it. If nothing else, we're base. Oh crap! I totally lost. Ah, okay. Okay. So we lost out on a free follow-up, which right now with Vajra would be 8 damage. So he should be dead right now. That's unfortunate. We don't need Spirit Shield, so we'll do this to do the killing. Crush Joints. It's stronger than Strike, but obviously our only other target has 2 artifact, so we're not going to be able to capitalize on this. I guess we'll pass that too. I guess mostly we're looking for a way to enter Wrath. He's not attacking this turn, so... Oh, wow. We made that really bad for ourselves. That's okay. Turn's not over. Okay, so we enter Wrath here, and then I'll go ahead and play a Miracle to conclude. Yeah, we brought him down to 2 health. So the armor he summons here will be probably inconsequential, and of course we keep Tranquility so we can just pop out at will. There we go. Piece of cake. No potions for us. Worship. Yeah, we've been saying the same thing the whole run. It's better to have like 2, so it makes all these undervalued, and you can't get to 2 until you take 1. Because I'm feeling like the deck's a little bloated, I'm going to pass here, but I otherwise wouldn't be totally averse to picking that up. Book of Stabbing. The last elite. Okay, I think the play here... Oh, if we're going to vault, we don't need the Spirit Shield. I don't know why I forgot about that. Okay, so we are going to vault this turn. What we can do is... I want a Miracle Crush Joints to put Vulnerable on him. But that means the cards we draw from Wheel Kick are going to be inconsequential, and if we draw into a Wrath Enterer... So you can see here why having the Crescendo Plus would have been okay. That does more damage. Hey, no Wrath Enterers. I'm pleased to see that. We will vault, and now we get to fully abuse the vulnerable, hopefully. As well as hopefully having a way to get out of the stance, and we don't. We don't have a way to get out of the stance. Luckily he's not attacking from much, and we do have the buffer, so I'm just going to go for it. That's plus 50%, but now that we Tantrum, you can see these cards are actually going to do triple damage. There's 15, there's 18, and we will just defend what we can. That's 13, he's going to hit us for 18, so that means what gets through is 5. Would be reduced down to 1, but the buffer probably just absorbs it. So not the end of the world that we ended in Wrath this particular turn. We do have Vigilance to get out of Wrath if we need to. I'm going to be searching for lethal. Obviously we're just doing double damage, not triple this turn. Deus Ex Machina, do we need the energy? I think it's just over, but I'll tell you what, I'll take the energy. That way we can Vigilance if it's not lethal. I'm pretty sure it's just lethal though. Yeah. Thank you, Inkwell. Okay, Anchor's quite good. Start of combat. Whoops. So is the mask. Can't take that. Pray. This is probably my favorite of all the mantra cards, because it at least offsets its own... It's delayed offset, but nevertheless. I've already passed up on fasting for reasons. We already have a Crush Joints, although having 2 would make it more consistent. Right now we're experiencing a little bit of deck bloat. And that was our last elite, so trimming the deck down would be nice. And that's my reason for hesitating here. On the other hand, triple damage, quite good. Yeah, passing on the prey was a little challenging. What would we do here? What would we do here? This draws another card. This draws another card. Oh, we have to do Tranquility. I don't even consider it optional. In fact, we already had this act, a time where this not being 0 was punished. Okay. Flurry of Blows, Tantrum. I don't think there's a need to exit our stance right now, so I'm just gonna... It's a waste of energy, but what are you gonna do? Alright, so he's gonna be attacking for a lot. We can draw a card first in case we find a Crushed Joints. We do not. And we're going to be vaulting this turn, so whatever we choose, we'll take the Tantrum because it goes back anyways. So now we're looking at 1, 2, 4 energy. We do have the Miracle, so I think that is the play. This is going to be 24. This is going to be 48. Neither of them line up with what we're facing here particularly well, so we're just going to have to do a little bit of overkilling. First world problem, that's just like part of the problem with playing in Wrath, is you're going to be doing lots of overkilling. I missed out on this again, but I don't think it's something we would have been able to make use of. Alright, so this just does 32. That seems good enough, right? Because this is 24. 24, that's better. I know how to do numbers. So now we have a choice. We can wheel kick, draw some cards we might not be able to make use of, and then use Tranquility Drop into Calm, in which case we get beat up. Or we can use Vigilance to enter Calm, as well as Third Eye to just prepare to block the incoming damage. So let's do the math here on how much all of that is necessary. Outside of Wrath, obviously this would be 7 by 2, so 14. This blocks 12. We take 2. The thingy absorbs all of it. I don't want to waste the buff. If we can just leave the buff for Hyper Beam, assuming he even lives that long, that would be okay. So I think I'm just going to Third Eye Vigilance here. Let me entertain the other line though. Wheel Kick, Third Eye gives us 7 block. First one gets blocked, second one chews up the buffer. Deus Ex Machina would give us some health, or mana. I think we have this under control, so let's go ahead and Vigilance. That'll give us our Flurry of Blows back. And then we can do this, Scry for 3. What do we want in our next hand? Let's ditch the Strike. I don't know how to play this. I think we should keep the card draw for sure, especially since we're going to end in Calm. So this will give us 2 energy along with those 2 cards. We definitely want to keep that. We'll probably be entering Wrath that turn. Tranquility will still be in our hands, so the ability to enter Wrath again on the following turn for sure seems good, especially since it comes with card draw. Starting to think taking this card was unnecessary. So yeah, I'll just do that, I guess. We are scrying because of Third Eye, not Cut Through Fate, so it's not like we're going to be drawing the card we leave ourselves with. And there we go. How did we end up with 19? Oh, yeah. Okay. I did that intentionally so we don't chew up our buffer now. Alright. Okay. Empty Mind first because it draws cards and we don't want to exit out of Wrath prematurely. Alright. Flurry of Blows, because we changed our stance. We Erupt, Flurry of Blows. He's not attacking, so we don't even need to consider Spirit Shield. Follow up. Crush Joints. There's no point in popping a Miracle first because he's got Artifact. I suppose it could be argued the other way. If we play a Miracle, we chew up one of those artifacts. Let's just do that. It's kind of a waste of energy, but we might get to a point where the actually being able to apply one. I wasn't even thinking when I took the second Crush Blow about Artifact, so that makes me feel a little bit better about that decision. Here we go. I'm just going to play it. I don't know if... Okay, I wasn't sure if it had an animation or not. We had the extra energy, so... Like, Adrenaline. I love the animation that plays when you do Adrenaline. Alright, so we drew lots of cards here. We don't have a lot of energy to support it. We do have Tranquility, so we can just pop out for free. That's probably good enough. We will Tantrum. That makes follow-up a thing. Also, I didn't think about Defend plus 8. So when we drop out, this is going to say 10 times 2. Block for 8. First one gets chewed up, we take 10. Don't cast Defend plus, block gets chewed up, we get hit for 10. So we don't even have to think about Defend plus, unless Wheel Kick here gives us another card that makes those better somehow. Alright, so what would we do? Oh yeah, Empty Body, right? I wasn't thinking about that. Then we wouldn't have to lose our Tranquility as well. So let's see, that would be 15. We'll take 5, choose up. We take no damage, but the buffer will be gone. Don't have much choice, really. And I think... Well, hang on, I'm looking at this the wrong way. Do we just have lethal? Probably not, but I need to look at it. He is getting very low. Okay. But we do know that we'll probably be able to kill him fairly quickly, so getting the buffer chewed up's not the end of the world. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and hit Cut with Fate. I don't know how he... No, because we're going to draw a card. And there's nothing we would draw that would be particularly good, because we're basically at the end of our turn. We do have the Miracle. Yeah. This is why people shy away from the class. I don't think there's any clear option here. But do let me know in the comments if you see otherwise, because it does kind of feel like maybe I'm missing something here. Alright, well, this will get us out. Flurry of Blows back. Oh, did we shuffle? Okay, never mind. And this makes it to where... Wait. The buffer gets chewed up either way. This is what keeps us from taking any damage at all. I didn't realize we were going to be doing that, but that's okay. Yeah, taking no damage means we can just tank Hyper Beam if need be. Alright, we will definitely Simmering Fury, and then we'll just attack for what we can. That was an easy turn. Very welcome after the last turn. Free Wrath. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think it's just over here. Yeah. Alright. So the pulling down his artifacts was more of a long-term. Vault number 2. I can't see why not, honestly. I really can't see why not. It trumps everything else, right? Either you have lethal or you want the game to continue in your favor. Makes up for the deck bloat by being able to draw 5 more. I'll be honest, I'm actually tempted to take a 5th. I think we could make use of it. Keep running into situations where we're low on energy. There is the occasional hand where we have too much energy, but more often than not, with the card draw we have, being able to have more energy would be good. And so far, it's looking like we could probably afford giving them the strength. So, there we go. Thank you guys for joining me. Please leave your comments down below, and I will see you in the next deck. Take care.